What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you one of the most important defensive tactics in Madden 19 to stop really popular routes that otherwise can be a real pain to stop. Now, if this is your first time checking out one of my videos and you want to stay up to date on the best Madden 19 tips and gameplay all year long, consider hitting the subscribe button below and make sure to hit the bell icon so that you join the notification squad. So today's video is going to be pretty simple. Now, what we're going to talk about today is how to stop the deep crossing routes, or the shallow post routes that cross the field and turn into crossing routes, because those can be very tough to stop. They typically are going to roast man coverage, but they're also going to always usually find a soft spot against any zone. So one of the more popular ones is out of the gun trips tight end, flex, the PA crossers. Sometimes you'll see similar routes out of trips tight end, the deep crossing routes. So the most effective way to take these away is going to be cross manning. So the only people you can typically cross man are going to be your safeties. So for a case like this, we'll just use a regular nickel formation. You're going to want to have cornerbacks at safeties. So here I'm going to go ahead and just put Aqib Talib right here, because safeties typically don't have good man coverage. So you want to have someone here that actually has good, man coverage, which is going to be a cornerback, and then you can call like a cover 3 sky or something like that. So now we'll just run like a regular cover 3 sky and show you what happens. So most of you know about the deep crossing routes, especially PA crossers. It's just a real pain to deal with. So if you were to run like any type of regular zone or anything like that, what's going to happen is you're going to be able to hit this guy. There's always going to be like a window. He didn't get his feet down in bounds there, but you kind of get the idea. There's always going to be like a window to usually hit this guy. That's just typically what's going to happen. Especially online, you see like there's always going to be like a huge window here, and they're a pain to stop unless you user them. Now, usering routes like this, are fine, because you can manually take it away by just, taking one of your linebackers. So we'll just hike the ball and we'll just show you. So like you obviously can take this guy, you can run with it and defend it yourself, and that's all fine and dandy. Now the only problem with that is once your opponent can dictate where your user goes, he's still winning the play, right? Because if I have to take this linebacker way out here to defend that, right, and then I have like my tight end on a drag or something, and you're out there defending the crossing route, well then you can't defend these underneath routes, and then I'm still picking up 8 to 10 yards a pop. So how can we take away the crossing route? How can we take away the crossing route without using it? Well, you can cross man. So if you come out like in a cover 3, you baseline your coverage, wire triangle right on the left stick, then you take your strong safety, or whatever safety is opposite side the crossing route. Now, if for some reason, like let's say you came out and the trip set was on the opposite side of the field, like let's say it was flipped like this, well, you wouldn't want to cross man the deep safety, because then you have no deep coverage. So like in a situation like this, you would just want to flip the play so that the safety you're cross manning is the one in the purple zone. You don't ever want to cross man the deep zone, because then you leave yourself vulnerable to getting bombed for like a one-play touchdown by a deeper route. So, but typically you'll know how they're going to run this, because wherever they end up the play before, if they run a play and they're on the left hash mark, well typically they're going to run this to the wide side of the field. If they're on the right hash mark, they're going to run it going right to left. If they're on the left hash mark, they're going to run it left to right, because they want to have as much room as possible to get that crossing route open. So you'll kind of know like which way to come out with your play, whether you need to flip it or not. Now anyway, you baseline your coverage. You're going to take that opposite side strong safety. So here we'll man him up on B. To do that, you press A on Xbox or X on PS4. Brings up your assignments. You want to press up on the right joystick for man coverage, and then you select the icon of the guy you want to man up. Now we want to man up Hogan, because we know he's the guy that's on the crossing route out of this formation, so we press B. And then I like to take this guy and bring him down here, because this is just going to have him in better position. And then the last thing you want to do is you want to shade your coverage to the outside. So you press wire triangle and then right on the right stick for the outside shade. That just helps him stay in better position to stop the route. So again, you baseline your coverage when you come out, you take your safety, you man him up on the crossing route, you bring him down, and then you shade outside. So now, if we try to hit this crossing route, he's going to be in great position to defend this. Now watch what happens. If we want to throw this, the cornerback is in position, he knocks the ball out. Now yes, it's Madden, so there are going to be times where the guy still makes a dumb catch. I mean, that's just the way Madden is. But like I always say in most of my videos, you want to put your defenders in the best position to succeed. That is your goal. Put them in the best position to succeed. This is putting him in the best position to succeed. Will the guy still make a crazy catch sometimes? Yeah. But you see, like, you can't even throw this route immediately because the DB is always trailing. By the time you're really able to throw a good pass, he's already going out of bounds. He can't get his feet down in bounds. So that's what's so good about this tactic. Now, by doing that, that gives your user the ability to roam elsewhere. So if they have that tight end on the drag, right? Well, you can user that drag because you have your safety covering the deep cross now. Now, let's say, like again, you go ahead, you cross man this guy because you know he's the guy that's crossing. Well, you have your flat open over here now, so maybe you don't want to leave that flat open. You can take this guy that's rushing, you can put him in a hard flat. Now, your pass rush wouldn't be as good, but you have your flat covered. Now, if you don't want to do that, if you want to still have 4 guys rushing, well, then you can take this linebacker, put him in a hard flat. But then that just means you have to cover a little bit more ground over the middle of the field. But by doing this, you know, you're still covering, you're not really leaving like a wide open hole anywhere on the field. And now you can user this drag, and then you can user other routes. That's why I said, like, you don't want to man up the wrong safety because you want that deep zone there in case they try to throw that deep route. Everything's covered when you do that. So that's how you take away those crossing routes. Now let's look at another popular route that people do this with out of gun bunch. So we'll call the same exact thing out of nickel. We'll use cover 3 sky. You don't have to use nickel. You can use literally any formation in the game. Just make sure you put your cornerback at safety. Doesn't have to be nickel, but nickel is just a nice balanced formation. So here, gun bunch, pat sail. This X route, when it crosses over to the other side of the field, is probably the hardest route to stop in the game. A lot of times people run this, they max protect, they put this B guy on a slant, and that's how they run it. It's that simple. And if you do not use or guard that X route, he's just going to get open. And then if you use or guard him, usually the B route will be able to get open for a quick pass, so it's hard to defend both. So here, again, we'll just run like a regular coverage and not do any cross manning or anything like that. And you're going to notice that when X crosses the other side of the field, now we got hit with the block shit there, but you see the window that was coming open. We'll run it one more time. I'll just go ahead and spy the defensive line because practice mode, they usually get off the blocks pretty quick. You guys know this, so, but in game, it's not usually as quick. So again, you see what happens. You have a window to hit this pass. Nothing really stops this without user guarding it, but we don't want to user guard that because then that allows our opponent to go elsewhere. So you do the same thing. You base a line, you take your safety on the opposite side, make sure it's the safety that's in the purple zone. You go ahead, man him up on X, bring him down here, shade outside. And then again, if you want to put flat coverage or something over here, you do that. And then your job is to user this whole middle of the field. That's what you have to do. Now, the great thing is, like I said, a lot of times people run stuff like this, they don't even have flat routes on the field because they're not looking to do that. They're just looking to hit that X route. Well, if you want to hit that X route now, you're going to be in trouble because the cornerback's there to make a play on it. And that's all you have to do. Now, there's other ways to do this that kind of is a little bit quicker. And this particular tip isn't my own. Master Gamer actually posted this, and it's a very good tip. It's one of the best tips that was posted this year, in my opinion. So I'm going to share that here in this video. That's a way that anybody can do it out of any particular formation, but the one he showed, I believe, was out of the big nickel over G, so we'll go ahead and do the same thing. We'll go put our cornerback at safety, but there's a few plays in the big nickel that automatically bring that safety down, so it's kind of one less step for you to have to do. So you see these plays right here, the WS Blitz 1, 2, and 3. You see how that safety is coming all the way down. Now it's on the left side, so we need to flip this because we know that the route's coming from the other side of the field. So we can use any coverage. I'm just going to use the cover 3 because it's kind of the safest coverage. And you're going to notice what happens here. We'll go back to the PA crossers. It's going to work the same versus both. And you'll notice what happens right at the snap. The safety comes down. He gets into place for you. And then you can just go ahead and man him up on that guy and then shade to the outside. So it's a little bit quicker because you don't have to manually bring him down. So if you'd rather do it this way, you can do it like that. And the big nickel is in every single playbook, so it's very easy to do. And you're going to get the same results. It's literally going to look the exact same because it pretty much is the exact same thing. Now, he got beat that time. He just got cooked on the route, which usually doesn't happen. But it's going to happen every once in a while because, again, that's just how Madden is. Nothing's foolproof. But we'll do it again, man him up, shade outside. But the majority of the time, this is going to defend it. For whatever reason there, he just got absolutely, he's just getting cooked right there for some reason. But typically, that's not going to happen. Maybe you need to move him out a little bit further on this route just to be safe, because this route does cut so sharp. But typically, he's going to be in good position to defend this. As you see there, we got hit with the block shot, but you see that time he was getting in good position to defend it. We'll go to the replay here and show you. Just because I moved him out a little bit. I guess when you run this version, you might want to just slide him out a little bit more. But you see, like, he was there that time. He wasn't cooked. He was running with it, but then we got sacked. So that's another way you can do this. And there's other formations that have similar things. Like the 3-4 under has a play like this. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing. We'll put Talib here. And you can see the SS scrape 3. It's literally the same thing. Like that safety manually comes down. So we'll go to the Pat Sale this time. Set up same way, and you see how he comes down right into place for you. You go ahead and man him up, shade outside. You can slide him out a little bit if you feel necessary. I don't think it can ever hurt to slide him out a little bit. And you see again, he is just in perfect position to play this ball. I don't think Gordon got his feet down in bounds, but again, that's not a good throw. We have him completely blanketed. Sometimes the receiver is just going to make, you know, a good catch, because that's just how Madden is. You can throw it into coverage in Madden sometimes and not pay the price for it, because the game is far from perfect, as we all know. But like I said, you're putting your guys in the best position to succeed. You're putting your guys in good position. See, he dropped the ball there, but, you know, should be getting picked off, but like I said, at least he's covered. Whereas if you try to defend this any other way, he's going to be wide open every single time. You're not even going to have a chance to make a play. But at least here, you know, this isn't a good throw. This isn't a throw that you can live making all game long. Eventually, you're going to get messed up trying to make this type of throw. But that's how you want to defend the crossing routes in this year's game. It's the best way to defend them, is by cross manning. That's how people shut down crossing routes in Madden 17, but they took the ability to cross man out from all your defenders. The only time you can do it is with safeties now, so you kind of just have to make, you know, do with what you have. But that's going to be the most effective way to stop crossing routes that you know are coming. Now, if you're playing someone that's smart and they mix up their plays very well, it's a little bit harder to cross man, because it becomes a guessing game. But when you play the average person online that just wants to spam the same crossing plays over and over and over, same few plays, same few routes, cross man them up, and you'll have them quitting out before halftime, because it's going to be shut down every single time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, as always, just drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.